Title: The Glint of the Shard. In the wind-hollowed village of Scarrow, where dunes whispered of lost seas, the shard spire jutted from the sands, a needle of obsidian flecked with veins of gold. No flame burned within, yet at dusk, a shimmer danced in its depths, like a trapped star. Villagers called it the Glint, sworn to be tended by Oris, a glassblower whose breath shaped truths as brittle as her wares. Her hands were scarred from fire, her eyes like amber caught in sunlight, and though Scarrow traded her vials, they shunned the shard spire, fearing its light cut deeper than glass. Only Taith, a dune rider with salt-crusted boots, sought her, chasing a promise he couldn't voice. At 23, Taith guided caravans across Scarrow's wastes, his spear steady, his dark eyes sharp as flint. His cousin, Mara, had crossed the dunes 2 years ago, seeking the shard spire after her betrothed died. She'd left behind a glass pendant, its core glowing faintly, a riddle Taith couldn't unravel. Scarrow called her lost, but Taith felt her in the pendant's warmth, a pulse like a heartbeat. Oris, they said, could read the Glint's secrets. Taith needed hers. Each twilight, Taith rode past the shard spire, its shadow cool on his neck. Oris was often there, blowing glass by a furnace, her vials catching the Glint's flicker. She'd glance at him, her gaze a spark, and Taith would grip his reins, the pendant in his pouch, his courage slipping like sand. His routes grew bolder, his spear etched with patterns like Mara's pendant, but the shard spire's shimmer called, a light he couldn't outride. One dusk, when clouds bled ochre and vultures wheeled, Taith's resolve hardened. He tethered his mount, slung his spear, and strode to the shard spire. The door was ajar, the air inside sharp with molten glass and dust. Oris stood at a workbench, shaping a vial that pulsed like the Glint. "You've come," she said, voice like a flame's hiss. "What do you hold?" Taith stepped forward, the spire's shimmer in his bones. He drew the pendant, its glow stark under her lamp. "This," he said, voice rough. "Mara's. She came here. Where is she?" Oris took the pendant, her fingers brushing his, hot as embers. The air thrummed, the vial in her hand flaring. "This isn't just glass," she said, eyes locking on his. "It's a shard of her. Look." Taith leaned in, heart pounding. Oris held the pendant to the vial, and the Glint surged. Visions bloomed. Mara, weeping in the dunes, then kneeling before the shard spire, her pendant glowing as she spoke a vow. Taith saw her rise, lighter, walking west, her face calm. "She left," he whispered, throat tight. "Why didn't she come back?" Oris set the pendant down. She offered her grief to the Glint. It kept it and she walked free. The shard holds what she left behind. Taith's chest burned, anger rising. "You let her go? She was my family," she chose. Oris said, steady. "The Glint shows what we carry, but it takes a piece." She wanted peace. The vial flared again, showing Taith, riding dunes, laughing, then older, crafting a spear with Mara's pendant inlaid, a child at his side. The hope cut, too bright. "I can't," he choked, tears falling. "Not without her." Oris lifted the pendant, the glint softening. "You carry her already. Keep it, or let the shard spire burn it away." Taith took the pendant, its warmth grounding him. "I'll keep it," he said, voice firm. "But not here." He left, the spire's shimmer fading, stars piercing the dusk. In Scarrow, he rode on, his spear softer, their etchings like Mara's vow. The village noticed their barter warmer. Oris blew her glass, the shard spire dim again. Taith wore the pendant, its glow a guide through dunes, Mara's truth a weight he shaped into every thrust, a promise he'd carry, light as sand, strong as glass. Thank you, amazing viewers. We're so grateful to you for listening to our story videos on English through stories. Your support for adventures like The Moth's Promise and The Bellmaker's Echo means the world to us. Keep learning English with us. More exciting stories are coming.